Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here today. We're standing on my boat. We're still inside the shop here, still getting some work done. But I'm super excited to be joined by Russ and Nick Williman out of Custom Marine Flooring, or at Custom Marine Flooring rather, in Ludington, Michigan. We're going to be talking about marine mat, what they can do for you, how your boat can look amazing. We're going to talk about the advantages of marine mat. We're going to talk about longevity. We're going to talk about durability. We're going to talk about cost. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. So stick around. We'll be right back. Everybody, so welcome back. Thanks for being here again. Russ, Nick, thanks for being here.
Yep,
Custom, thanks. Custom Marine Flooring again in Ludington, Michigan. Russ, if people want to get in touch with you, let's get that right out in the open right now. How do they get in touch with you?
They can get in contact with us at custommarineflooringmi.com. You'll get our telephone numbers from that point. You can contact either myself or Nick.
There we go. And so you guys are available, what, 24/7 basically?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
You'll call people back eventually.
I sleep a little.
Yeah, you got to sleep a little. I know you guys are probably super busy right now, but in Ludington, Michigan.
Yes.
So you guys are pretty much in the heart of boat country here in Michigan. And I'm sure you guys cover lots of different boats because of that.
We have.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit earlier about some of the boats you've done in the past. A lot of Tierras.
Yes.
But you've done some smaller boats too.
We've done river boats, we've done runabouts, we've done go-fast boats, pretty much anything that's on the water.
You name it. It's on the water. You guys can probably
put a floor in it.
You guys can make it look amazing. I have no doubt. All right, so marine mat. You and I were talking a little bit about this because I've had a few people ask me, what is marine mat? I've never heard of it. They've heard of some of the other companies out there. But marine mat, really, you're telling me it's been around almost the longest as anyone.
Yeah, Nick.
So marine mat was started by a guy out of Florida. It started with a company that did the flooring for jet skis, and he's since purchased that company. But the only reason we don't have the name recognition is more due to marketing. It's more of a self-marketing OEM product, and the other companies have put a lot more money into their marketing.
No, I get it. And marketing, that's the name of the game. The more somebody gets their name out there, the more they might get recognized. But that, from what I've found and experienced with boats and fishing, just because there's a bigger name doesn't always mean it's the better product.
Marine Mat's the older company, more established, but they are a little bit later into the public market versus OEM. Like Nick was saying, they were large in OEM for years before C-Tech came along.
Yeah.
And then we have recently gotten into that public market, and that's why you're starting to hear our name more frequently.
Yeah, yep. And I looked on your website, and I looked on some other, of course, being a consumer, being a fisherman, being a charter guy, I wanted something that was going to be durable, long-lasting, things like that. And of course, when I started doing my research, there's some other names out there that came out, not more prominently, but better marketed, put it that way. But then I caught your guys' website, and I caught the Marine Mat website, and it really caught my eye, the comments and reviews that a lot of people are leaving on the Marine Mat product, because I don't see anything negative out there. Everybody's talking about how durable it is, how long it lasts, how good it looks, just countless praise for your product. So that's what really got my attention to you guys. So I'm glad I went this way. But let's talk about, let's show some of the things that you guys got here. Let's show people what marine mat really is.
Well, we'll start with some cooler tops. They're easy to hold. These are different cooler tops that they offer in different colors. Want to grab that one? Yep.
Yeah.
So different size. These are Yeti and Arctic coolers. This is your basic. They always put their logo on, which is great. Just a basic border. Where these ones are got a fish ruler on them. Different size coolers. You get a different size ruler.
Yeah. So you get a bigger cooler, you got a bigger fish.
Well, yeah. Bigger bait, bigger fish.
But so now I'm looking at this stuff, Nick, and so if I just jumped on this video and I don't know anything about marine mat, I don't know anything about flooring, what does this do? What is it, and what's it going to do for my boat?
It's gonna dress your boat up. It's gonna make it look beautiful. It's gonna make it look new again. It's gonna cover any of your imperfections on your floor. And it's going to add that durability you need while you're out standing on the back of a boat with a fishing pole in your hand all afternoon.
There you go.
The padding in it going to help your legs, help your feet. And if you want to just go out for a Sunday cruise, you know, you got a nice place to sit down.
And it does look good.
It looks great.
I mean, it looks really good. So essentially what you guys do is you come and you take this material and you map out the boat's floor.
Yes.
And then you install this material onto the floor. This becomes the flooring of the boat.
Yes.
Yeah. So what, I mean, what is this stuff? Is it foam? Is it?
It's an EVA closed cell foam, which is what most of the products on the market are made out of. When Nick and I started researching who we were going to go into work with, Marine Mat stood out for a number of reasons. One is they have, one of the founders is a biochemist, and they 24/7 at the factory weather test, chemical test, torture test this material. They've got the material up on the roof at the building in Florida so that they can test it against EVA or UV, rain, weather, doesn't matter.
Right.
They're in Florida. They salt test this all the time. There's pieces of this in a machine that replicates weather conditions 24/7. That was a huge factor for us. Color sustainability and durability. The other
You
huge.
see there, it's all the way through color. It's just not.
Oh, we're going to talk about color, guys. Don't worry.
We have the largest selection of color in the market.
We're going to talk about all that. But this is it's a foam. It's the EVA foam.
closed
Okay.
cell.
All right. How thick is this for the flooring?
This is a 6 millimeter application. Each layer is 3 millimeters.
Okay.
We can make a 2 millimeter or a 2-layer application, which is what we do in most fishing boats. A lot of the recreational boats will go 3-layer. We can take this and build up to 21, 24, 27 mils for combing bolsters, which have become really, really popular.
Yeah, we'll show some of those too.
Yeah.
I just want to, if you'll grab that for me,
Sure.
Russ. I want to show people. So you just handed me this, Nick. I mean, this stuff is pretty. I want to make sure you guys can see this on the camera. And let me get a nice shot here. But let me get a little focus. So if you really want to go high tech and make something look amazing on your boat, 3 different layers, 3 different colors.
Yes.
Yep.
And boy, you could do a lot of fun things with that.
Any design you can think of.
Any design you want.
Pretty much.
Okay, pretty much.
If you can design the floor with custom lines, they can create it.
Custom logos, custom whatever you want. We can have that done onto the material.
Even wood grain.
Oh, I love that stuff. Yep. I mean, if you guys want, you hang on that
Yep.
for me, Russ? The different textures and looks that this can give you. I mean, if you look at this, you can actually, it looks like wood grain. It looks just like wood grain. So, absolutely amazing stuff. Well, let's get back here.
So as far as designs go, we've got 9 different, I think, different laser designs, different patterns for the laser. I don't know how well these are showing in the camera
Well,
with the laser,
Yeah,
but if you want to hold those,
yeah.
they also do router designs. The router designs is what's going to show your color through. There's a hexagon, the fish scale, diamond pattern. And a lot of these router designs you can also incorporate
A
some
laser
laser
design.
designs.
Okay. So really, whatever you dream up,
We can do it.
you can do it.
Yep.
Okay.
We got multiple camo colors. It could be cambered 2 different ways for combing bolsters. We got a lot of options.
So let's talk about combing bolsters. That's one of the things I'm going to be doing on my boat. So if you guys don't know, haven't figured this out already, these guys are here for a reason. They're going to be.
We got to go to work today.
We're going to be doing my boat, and I'm super excited to get this done. We're going to be doing the deck, and we're going to actually show a video of how these guys map out the deck. We're going to do the combing bolsters, and we're going to do the upper gunnels, and this thing is going to look amazing. So it's going to be a multi-part series of what we're doing here. This video today, we're going to talk about the products with these guys. We're going to show you the colors, and then we're going to show you how they map this thing out. And I was a little concerned when I first started looking at Marine Mat and other comparables, because I saw this giant sheet of plastic that you might have to get, and then you take a Sharpie and you go do your picture pages and you draw out, you got to trace the design, and I thought to myself, my God, I don't think I have the skills or the patience for something like that. But you guys have changed the game in that.
Well, you could still buy the template and make the template, and they will still manufacture the mat for you. The difference is then you're responsible for the way it fits, and then you're responsible for installing it, and then you're responsible for what it looks like after you install it. Or you can put that all on mine and Nick's shoulders, and we'd be happy to do that for you.
So you're responsible for everything.
And we're responsible.
So any problems is going to fall back
problem.
on these guys right here. Because that's I think a lot of the people's hesitation is, do I have to do this myself?
No.
You know, do I have to get a Sharpie in the template and do this all myself, or are there people out there that can come out there and do this for us? And that's you guys.
That's us.
That's you guys out of Ludington.
Yes.
That brings me to a really good question here. Say I'm up in Escanaba, Michigan, and I got a boat that I really want done. Will you guys come to me?
Nick and I got into this a little bit with the idea
Okay.
that we might be able to travel Michigan and enjoy some weekends somewhere besides our hometown. So, yes, we'd be happy to come anywhere in the state of Michigan.
Outstanding. That's great. So no matter where you are, Michigan, they got you covered. What about Wisconsin? Would you guys go to Wisconsin?
Don't know.
That would be a time constraint. There'd be a travel consideration.
Yes.
Okay. So obviously I'm throwing some things out there facetiously, but the bottom line on that, everybody, is if you're in Michigan, you want this stuff done, you get a hold of these guys, they're going to take care of you. So we're going to get to that bolster in a sec, Russ. I know you're standing there with it, but
Oh, that's fine.
so if you guys come to the boat and you guys do your thing on the boat, what's the process? Are you going to lay down all that sheeting and do that, or is there a different process?
Ours changed to a camera and a box of targets, and we'll obviously get way more into that when we start doing the layout.
Right.
But that's what we're going to show up with.
Essentially, we lay out the targets, we shoot the boat with the camera that's been calibrated to the program that we use, then we go into the photo modeler program and draw your templates without the plastic sheets. Take that DXF file, send it down to the factory, they cut the material, route it, laser it, whatever we ask for in the order, send it back to us and we install.
Amazing. That's really amazing. I think if I would have tried to do this boat on my own, a 31 foot, it would have taken me several days with a Sharpie and a template.
I had a friend just contact me who is doing that with his boat, and he's got a number of weeks into his effort.
Oh, wow.
He's at the point now where he thinks he's going to progress that way and use his own template, and that's fine, but it's not an easy task, and it's not easy to get accurate.
So a couple weeks compared to how long you guys think you're going to take today to do mine?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. All right, so if you are the ultimate DIYer out there, if you do want to do it on your own, you can do it though. You guys can make that happen. That's no problem. But if you do want the pros to come out and you want them to do the boat, you guys will do that too.
Sure will.
And I'm sure though that there's a cost difference from doing it yourself to having the pros do it. Yeah, there's got to be.
There is.
Yeah.
You can buy the Mylar sheets from the factory. They give you a set of instructions on how to do it. And then once that's done, you roll those up, send those to the factory, and they'll do exactly what we're going to do, only they'll do it down there and charge you for it there. And then they'll charge you for the materials, they'll charge you for their photo modeling, charge you for their labor, and then really what you save is the installation cost.
There you go.
The laying the mat down.
Right, right. So I guess, I mean, if you're really going to compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges, it'd probably be better to have you guys just come out in the first
Well,
place.
that's what we think.
Well, I don't blame you. No, but I honestly, if it's me and it is me today doing this, I want the pros to do it. So I'm happy to do that. All right, so that leads us into the big question, cost. And when I talk to other people about this, or I have other charter captains talk to me about this, that's normally the number one question that I get. Well, what's this thing going to cost me? And I always start off with this. If you look around my boat, I've got 3 downriggers. Those are $1,500 a piece or so. I got fish finders everywhere. I got fish hawks. I got radar. I've got autopilot. I have tens of thousands of dollars into this boat right now. This is another product for the boat, just like anything else. Because it's gonna, the way I look at it, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I look at it as the customers are gonna enjoy their time on the water more.
Yes.
The boat just looks better. You feel like you're coming onto a boat where somebody cares about about their boat, about what they do. It's going to be easier on my feet, my knees, my customers' feet, my customers' knees,
Your crew.
my crew. and it's not gonna. My boat's not gonna take as much damage as it would have.
Cleanup time.
Yeah, cleanup time. We'll get into cleanup. Yeah, we want to talk about that. We'll talk about that. But I think about all the benefits of this stuff, and I have to compare it though to like anything else: rod holders, downriggers, fish finders, autopilots. It's something else for the boat that's going to improve the boat and improve the experience of the people on the boat. So, I mean, cost. Let's talk about that. I got a 31-foot boat. If somebody out there has a 31-foot boat, what are they looking at generally?
And here's why we don't like to give a single figure. There's so many dimensions to what will constitute your final cost in this. The configuration of your pieces is the most important. The material is laid out in a sheet that is about 43 inches by 86 inches of usable space. So how we derive our pieces out of that when we play the Tetris game and nest them in the computer to determine how many sheets we're going to use, that's where we can give you a final and honest cost estimate.
There you go.
But like we were talking about earlier today with Chris, a 31 Tierra is basically looking at a cost of around $5,000 if you want to have a figure in your head to work from.
Okay. That's a good starting point.
It is.
About $5 grand. So that's a significant investment.
It is a significant investment.
But it is an investment. I mean, it is something for the boat.
Yep.
It's something that's going to make so many things so much better.
There's a couple things about this material that we're hearing a lot about from customers. One is they love the non-skid effects versus the non-skid that's in the boat. This doesn't get slippery when it's wet. And I alluded to it, but crew of charters are probably our most appreciative members of the boating community. The waterproof and water runoff ability of this material is fantastic. And the fact that this does not get hot when you stand on it in the summer.
Well, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
There's a lot of people that have asked us that question. And in fact, we've got one boat that we did with a charcoal gray and black. So it's dark finishes. And he has allowed any customers of ours in the area to come down and barefoot walk on his boat to see if they like how warm the deck is. And all of them have been astounded by the fact that they don't burn their feet.
I hadn't even thought about that, the amount, the heat difference is going to be on
Huge.
the deck. Yeah, huge. And I spend so much time on the boat throughout the summer. I run, several dozens of trips. I get home at night, my feet hurt. They do. And I know a guy that's got comparable decking on his boat, and just walking on that for a small amount of time, I could feel the difference right there. That's going to be a big deal for me right there. And it's going to be a big deal for my customers to enjoy their experience a little bit more. Or your family, or your friends, or just yourself.
Anybody that uses the boat.
Yeah. So Nick, if people wanted to get a quote from you for their boat, say somebody has a Bayliner Trophy, 1994 Bayliner 26-foot, how would they get a quote from you for their boat?
So they can start by going to the website, throwing in an email request. That comes right to me. I answer all of them. I'll call the customer initially. If they want just a quote to start figuring it out, we'll come out. We'll do all the measurements for a $400 fee, and that will give us the overall cost. We can't gauge our complete cost until all the computer work is done.
There you go.
Which can be anywhere between 5 and 10 hours, depending on how intricate this boat is. So,
sure. Do you have some boats on file though, where say there's a certain boat you had on file, and somebody could call and say, "Do you have a quote for this boat?" Do you have anything like that?
So Marine Mat, right on their website, has a category of boats. They're not all updated. I've noticed that some of the boats we've done are not on there yet. So a lot of the Tierras and Pursuits and things like that we've done in the Ludington area aren't on there. But there's anything from Chris Crafts to
Albemarle's, I know. I know.
Northwest.
Yeah, you name it. It
River
seems.
boats.
But again, Marine Mat started in Florida, so I noticed a lot of the boats are on that website are a lot of saltwater boats.
Yep.
A lot of center consoles.
A lot of center consoles. So, but it looks like it's being updated pretty frequently. Yeah.
Marine Mat has a proprietary adhesive layer. It is stronger than the standard 3M adhesive that everyone else uses, and we have it available on our product too. But the more important part of that is our adhesive layer is also fiber embedded. And on a working vessel like this, it's really important because you don't get the torsion and shift on the material that will eventually damage the top layers of material. That fiber layer holds it in a much tighter binding. The other thing is, if under any circumstances we do have to remove a sheet because of damage, because of whatever, then we're able to come in and heat treat that, lift the sheet, and because of the fiber embedded layer, it will come up as a whole sheet versus, I always compare it to taking wallpaper off an old bathroom.
Chip, 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 chip,
Rip, chip, rip, chip, swear.
Right. All right. So you keep showing that bolster. Let's talk about that bolster. Because if you don't know what combing bolsters are, it's the rail that goes around the inside of the boat. It's a thing that you lean up against. Marine Mat has an extra thick pad that you can install. Talk about that.
It's actually just multiple 3mm layers. Everything goes in 3mm layers. And we've got a couple of different curves that you can put on the edge of the material. The combing bolsters we've been doing usually are ranging between 21 and 27 millimeters. And they're cool for a lot of reasons. One is washability, especially on the working boats, because as everybody knows, those vinyl-clad combing bolsters that normally come with the boat take a beating when you use them all the time. They take a beating in the weather, and these won't. The other thing about these is, and we found this to be really, really popular, we can laser engrave or CNC engrave your logo into the side of the boat anywhere you want them on the combing bolsters, and it really, really looks sharp.
We may have talked about that on
It's
my boat.
really sharp.
I have a couple ideas.
I bet you do.
Yeah, just for a sec. So, I mean, that thing is thick. It's still soft. You know, it's still got some nice give to it. So much more durable than the old vinyl pads.
It won't wear out like that vinyl.
Yeah, you can see mine are already gone because I ripped them off because they were shredded up till last year. Really looking forward to getting that on the boat. That's going to be a nice touch. You guys can see, I want to show this. You can see this is just another example of some of the patterns that they can do. That's that camo gray color that really, really is sharp. So many different options. So you talked about this, Russ, a few times. Nick, you have too. Cleaning. I got a bare fiberglass deck here, you know. I can dump down some bleach. I shouldn't dump down bleach. It's bad for the environment. Don't do that. But I can dump down some deck cleaner. I can clean it up, and it gets fairly clean. Putting down foam, I would think it would soak in all that material and eventually break down that foam. But you're telling me that's not the case?
No, that's not the case. Really, all you need to clean this up with is a little bit of Dawn dish soap and water. Our charter captains that have been using it, scrubbing down twice a day, hundreds of trips a year, find it real easy cleanup and no effect to the material at all.
Okay, so just a deck brush?
Yep.
Clean it up in a little water, a little bit of Dawn dish soap.
I don't know about
Simple
you guys, a
green
lot
if
of the
you
guys
need
are
something
using...
Simple, yes,
Simple green's fine.
Simple green.
Yep, simple green.
So say I get I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
A
you
lot
off.
of the guys using the white brush, the stiff brush, and still not hurting the material.
So, on occasion, I get a customer whose stomach doesn't agree with them while they're out on my boat in the waves. And eventually some of that breakfast might find its way out of that customer
Rinse.
onto my boat. Will that stain the decking?
No, they've even tested it with red wine.
Red wine.
Everybody knows what that does.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to people too.
Fish guts, blood, scales,
Okay.
everything washes down.
Oil?
Oils, if they're removed from the material, will not penetrate the material.
Okay. So the faster you get to it, the better off you are. Okay. All right. So is there anything though, if you do get some oil on there, you can't get to it? Is there a process you can get that out, or you?
We've been told actually that you can use an alcohol scrub.
Okay.
And I'll just tell you this, we're going to run a little test on one piece of material on a guy's boat with just a little touch of acetone and see if we can clean up a spot that he's managed to develop.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about colors. I mean, you guys handed me this thing, and it looks like the keychain from you know where. I mean, it got a lot of colors on here. There's got to be 30, 40 colors on here. You guys know exactly how many you have?
We haven't counted it, but we do have more than anyone in the industry.
Okay, that's a lot, I'm sure. I'm looking at, I got about 6 shades of blue here, about 8 shades of brown.
Eight shades of brown, 8 shades of gray.
Yep. Now, you want it, it's here, without a doubt. But this is something I wanted to show everybody to make sure that you saw this. Because you guys touched on this a little while ago. You have different textures.
So that's the knurled texture. It's kind of like a dimpled, kind of like the non-skid. It's,
We'll do this.
I don't know the best way to explain it. It's most like the non-skid
yeah.
that we have. I'll get right in close here.
Let me make sure we're in focus there, Nick, and we can get a nice shot on that. Oh, without tripping over everything. Yep. Bring that right on in. See if people can actually see that little. Oh yeah, there we go. Tilt it back just a little. There you. Yep. People can see that now. Yep. Excellent.
So that's our knurled, brushed, and this texture can go any direction. When they're cutting the mats, when we're trying to fit pieces,
90 degrees.
you can spin it upside down any way you want for us to fit it on that 26 square feet.
Beautiful.
The brush texture, a little different.
Yep. I can show the brush. No problem. So the brush is just that. I mean, it looks like somebody took a paintbrush, and it looks like they painted your boat. All right.
And that can be lasered to look like a wood grain, a brushed wood grain, and then cut with the CNC for planking.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful right there. Very nice. So all that's available
It is.
in any color,
Yes.
Yep.
in any design.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely amazing. Amazing. All right. So many different options. Now I got to think about a lot of stuff. I got to think about where I want to go here, but beautiful. But guys, let's wrap this up. But let's talk about a couple things here. Now, you guys are both Michigan guys.
Yep.
Grew up in Michigan. You guys have been around boats your whole life. It's not like you guys just jumped into this going, hey, this is a business opportunity. You know, I want to make some money. You guys actually have some experience and some care going into boats. Talk a little bit about that, Russ, if you don't mind.
My folks bought a cottage when I was 3 years old. I had my first rowboat with an outboard when I was 5 years old. I've been in boats all my life. About 22 years ago, we got into big water boating, and with a short period of time, I'm kind of a Tierra fan. I've had 5 of them. My favorite was a 42 open, or excuse me, 43 open, and so yeah, we've been in boats. I've been in boats a long, long time, and I've fallen in love with. I appreciate the art of a boat.
Yeah, so do I.
And yeah, so we really, when I got out of big boating 2 years ago, I looked for a way to hang around boats and my boating buddies, and this just seemed like a real good opportunity. Nick grew up. We had a cottage.
I was 7.
Yeah. And he's been driving boats since he was 8. Yeah.
Yep. So you guys pretty much grew up on the water.
Pretty much.
And you're going to stay on the water now too with this business.
I am.
And it's a lot better than getting in the charter business. Don't do that. Just kidding. But no, so these guys, I mean, they know boats. They care about boats. They're not just people coming out of, you know, who knows where, going to slap some stuff down on your boat and disappear. These guys are around. So I think it's a great way to do business, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Guy, everybody, if you want to get in contact with these guys, website again, Custom Marine Flooring MI for Michigan.com, correct?
Yep.
All the phone numbers are on there, all the contact, everything you could want. Can people go on there and look at colors and everything too?
Yeah, the website's still kind of under construction. We're changing some things around, adding some things. We're trying to get the textures, colors, some of the designs right off of the Marine Mat website onto our website.
And the Marine Mat website is a good place to look at some colors and
Yep, all those options on there as well.
I believe that's marinemat.net.
Yes.
You know what I'll do? We'll make it really easy. Down below in the description, I'll put a link to these guys' website. I'll put a link to Marine Mat, and you can just click on that right there. You'll be able to find everything that you could want. And then if anybody wants to call you, don't be afraid to call these guys. These guys are nice guys. They're easy to talk to. Real easy to talk to. If you just want to call them. Call them and talk about whatever you might have going on with your boat. Email also.
We'll
Yep.
always call. We'll always talk boats.
They might not leave you alone. If we start talking boats, they might not get off the phone with you. But email, call, website, get a hold of them, get this thing going. All right, guys, thanks so much for coming out. Let's get to work on the boat.
Let's start having some fun on this one.
Let's do it.
I feel like I've been